Hi. How are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you?
So that was What Does It All Mean by The Lynx. Now, these guys are an alternative rock band from Lafayette in Louisiana. Hopefully I've pronounced that right. And I've got the guys on the other line to have a bit of a chat to them about their new album and chat about The Lynx in general. I've got Jordan and Matthew on the other line. How's it going, guys?
How's it going?
All the way from... Have I pronounced that right? Lafayette?
Yes, that's right.
There's not really even an agreed upon pronunciation. Everyone kind of says it somewhat differently.
It's better than Lafayette.
Yeah,
Lafayette. So what's been happening today, guys?
Oh, just getting off work. Looking forward to this interview all week.
Excellent. Well, it's great to finally have you guys on Undiscovered Rock Radio, because we have been playing some of your tunes from the Summers Out EP.
Awesome.
Love that. Love a couple of tunes on there that we play on Undiscovered Rock Radio. And of course, the brand new album's just come out, which we're going to talk about, Sucreland. But before we do, I just thought we'd go all the way back and have a bit of a chat about when you guys, first picked up an instrument and, what you listened to when you were growing up.
I mean, I don't remember the first time I picked up an instrument, but it's like, I think as young as I can remember, I was always making noise of some kind.
Nice.
I kind of learned piano before guitar, so I was never like really super into guitars actually. So that kind of came later. I just wasn't much of a classic rock kid, so I'm kind of like piano first, even though I think by this point I'm kind of better at guitar and kind of feel better with it. But yeah, I don't know. I always just felt like playing stuff. So
you're able to read music then, playing the piano?
I mean, technically, but like, it's kind of like a first grade level.
Yeah.
I couldn't like play Mozart or anything.
Yeah.
And I was about, I guess, in the same situation when I was as young as I could remember. Me and my cousin, we both would play on my grandmother's piano, and we never learned anything formally. We always played by ear.
Yeah.
And even to today, in both of our bands, we still using the same methods of figuring out as we go, more or less. But I've basically played piano, guitar, bass, drums, whatever I need to play in order to make music with other people. I always just try to fill in that space no matter what, just to be able to keep the music alive. And that's just what I've been doing for the past about 20 years, I'd say.
Nice.
And I guess the earliest bands that I remember listening to is music from my parents. So a lot of 80s electronic music or dance music like Depeche Mode, and a little bit of alternative like The Cure. But even going into like the 90s, where I grew up listening to a lot of grunge and Nirvana. But I even go back to the classics like 60s and 70s rock, like Black Sabbath, Rush, and Pink Floyd and stuff like that. I just draw inspiration from pretty much as much as I'm surrounded by. I get it from the environments, more or less.
Yeah.
So that's just how I've approached it.
Yeah, that's great. All the good stuff, definitely. I remember my old man had that's what we call our father down under, by the way. My old man had Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, all the good stuff on vinyl. We used to pop that on. Let's talk about how the Lynx first started. Of course, you two are pretty much the brains behind the band, aren't you? Let's talk about how it all started.
It's kind of a weird story because like the band now is nothing like it was when it first started. It was a few years ago. I basically like called up a high school friend of mine, and we very quickly like came up with like 3 other people we were gonna play, and we just like got together at a friend's house and kind of jammed for a few days, and then eventually it just like whittled down to the 3 of us, and we made like some recordings, but I mean eventually like we went our separate ways, and I had to kind of reform the band. So it's like after a series of trying a bunch of different people out, it basically became what it is today. And it's like, I guess it's honestly probably the closest to like what I originally wanted the band to be, which is kind of odd because like I think I think the earlier, the further we were. You know.
Right. You know, on your website, you're saying you're an ever-evolving band, and that's pretty much from the very beginning to where you've ended up now. This is pretty much how you envisioned the Lynx to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because, like, I think we kind of write songs a little differently than most bands. Like, I don't particularly like writing as a band. I'd rather write with, like, maybe two of us on a computer or something, like recording different parts and writing parts. And so, like, eventually we have stuff that you really need like 8 people to play, but we only have like 3 or 4. So
it's just been really hard to get the live.
The live thing's always been difficult, but it's fun.
Get that live sound as full as we'd like it to be, but it's still fun to play. Yeah. And we've been working with the hand we've been dealt, and it's been going fine. I'm really happy, and I'm looking forward to the future and all the good stuff that's going to come from our hard work this year.
Great, excellent. So your influences as a band, I mean, I hear a lot of various bands when I listen to your tunes. Gorillaz, Flaming Lips come to mind. I hear a bit of Ween and Deftones even in your music. Is that the sort of stuff that you guys are into?
A little bit of who? Ween?
Ween, yeah, I can hear a little bit of Ween sometimes in your music.
I've never really listened to Ween, but like Gorillaz were like the first band that like I really got into. Like Tomorrow Comes Today, I saw that video when I was like 11 years old or something, and it definitely kind of changed my life for better or worse.
Yeah, great.
And then Deftones were pretty big on Radiohead and Tool. He likes Tool.
Oh, I didn't even bring up Tool. Yeah,
of course.
But I mean, honestly, by this point, like it's really subconscious. Like, I mean, we'll listen to like Ariana Grande in the studio or whatever, and just like, you know,
we really draw inspiration from everything. We try to find that balance between, you know, alternative and pop and, you know, indie, whatever that really means. You know, we try to just try to let it come as naturally as possible, and we've been liking what we've been getting so far.
Yeah, because it's a real mixture, isn't it? Because you've got a bit of funk in there, alternative, pop rock, a bit of electronic as well. It's a pretty good mix.
We appreciate it. We're glad it's good to other people than just us.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, it just kind of happens, but like it's always interesting to hear how it comes off to other people. Because like the other day, my friend was talking to me, and he was talking about one of the songs of the album, and he said like he just like broke out into a chuckle or something because it was so over the top, and it was just like funny because like over time we kind of like lose touch with what our stuff actually sounds like to other people because like we get so involved in it, wrapped up in it. So.
Yeah, that's a better way of explaining it.
I love the end of that track we just heard. What does it all mean with that? How are you? And you're screaming it, and how's it going?
Yeah. People hate that.
Yeah, some people
really, hate
that.
that.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great. You're just screaming into the mic, and it gets all distorted.
Yeah, we've had some mixed reviews on the ending. What was that one guy? What did he say?
There's one guy who loved the song, but he was like reviewing us on something, and he gave us a 0 out of 10 for the outro.
Just because of the ending, yeah.
Oh,
it
no
would have been
way.
a great track.
That's a bit harsh.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in.
You can't please everybody.
You can't please everyone. That's right. We're moving on to talking about the new album here. Of course, great album, Sucreland, and it was released just last week, October 14th.
Yeah, pretty much.
Through Organized Records. Tell us about Organized Records. A label there in Louisiana, or is it?
Well, it's kind of like a homeless, not well, for lack of a better word, like homeless label. Like it's more of an online thing, though.
Okay.
I mean, I'm involved with it. I was involved in like the starting of it, and it's kind of working with artists from around the globe. So it's hard to say it's a Louisiana label, but we basically take care of like the the co-production and the artwork and stuff like that, and. So, I mean, basically, it's like we have a huge amount of like artistic control over what gets released through that.
Brilliant. That's what you want. So, tell us all about the making of the album. I mean, let's. How many EPs and albums do you guys have now? Because you've got quite a few there listed on your Bandcamp site.
Yeah, EPs. I think like 2 or 3, maybe 4.
Since I joined the band, we've only had funk, the rap.
Yeah, rap song EP,
Yeah.
Summer's Out EP, but that was.
Did we have a funk song
Listen,
EP too?
It was just a single.
Okay, it was a single.
Yeah, so like 3 EPs and like 2 albums, unless you count like this kind of 13 song collection of demos that was put out in 2013, which like kind of plays as an album. So sometimes I consider it one. But pretty much like 2 main albums, 3 or 4 EPs, and then a bunch of like little, odd releases and singles and stuff.
We've got a bunch of material, and there's even more material from the time period before I joined the band on the Bandcamp. So it's like there's so much to choose from. There's so many different versions of the links out there, like the songs. It's really nice. It's you could see the evolution from the start. Really, it's very apparent, and that's why it caught my attention when I saw them playing live at a local bar. They were on the bill as a band that I was in back in the day, and it was a finale show for that one band, and I wanted to find another project to work with, and ironically, it was the band that I was watching that same night. I approached them after the show, and the rest is history.
Look at that.
So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see that manifest like that, and I'm glad that we're going in a direction that we can both agree on, artistically and whatnot.
Yeah, that's great. So this is going all the way back, 2011? You guys first formed, was it, or is it even sooner?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get like really technical, there was an EP that I put out under the name The Links in like 2005, long. But that was like, so I mean, the idea of The Links has been around since I was like in 7th grade, because I was in bands, but I never really had my own, and I just thought that was a cool name for a band for whatever reason. And
nice.
So I don't know, just an EP found its way, which to this day I still don't even actually have in my possession, so it's just kind of out there somewhere.
That's the craziest story I've ever heard. Still, I still can't get over that.
Yeah, have a bit of a treasure hunt. Try and track it down.
Somebody's got it out there.
It'll show up in like 20 years down the line, and who knows?
Be great to hear. So tell us a little bit about recording Sucreland, of course, your second album, produced by yourselves and Log S. Mixed and mastered by Jack Morrison.
Yeah.
So where was it recorded, and how many of the songs had you written before?
It all started in those late nights in my little bedroom studio, just making these jam tracks, and they eventually just turned into full-fledged songs. And between my house and his recording space at his home, we were able to record everything ourselves, and we also did the mixing and mastering in house.
Yeah, we made about like 100 like recordings that were kind of like candidates to be on an album, and we basically whittled it down to like the 11 big ones, and basically just had to like figure out how to sequence and kind of make it so it actually sounded like a single album, which
like
somehow I feel like we actually did. It sounds pretty singular to me.
It's pretty cool how a bunch of chaos was able to be organized in the Sucreland. A lot of coffee, a lot of sucres.
Nice.
What is named after a local coffee shop and one of their best frozen coffee drinks that they have.
So that's where the name comes from. I was going to ask that.
Yeah, Sucre, like we're actually across the street from it right now. It's a place called Johnson Street Java that makes these things called Sucres, and we drink like just a ridiculous amount.
Probably close to thousands of these coffees.
Enough to want to like include it, like name our album after it. So.
Nice.
And the picture on the cover with the little dog, that's my dog actually, and
it's his dog and my wife.
And that little coffee, that's an actual Sucre. That's a picture of an actual Sucre. So
there we go.
We were able to piece it all together, and it became a full-fledged idea. It's quite impressive, actually. Like
I like
those late nights didn't seem like they were going to be able to be written off as hard work instead of just playing around.
Well, just some.
Yeah. Once we actually whittled it down, the hard work started. It was really fun working on the beginning stages though, for sure. A lot of learning, a lot of practice, and definitely a great experience overall. It was fun.
That's great. So how long was the recording process all up, you'd say?
It was about like a year.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that took really long was just like finalizing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was involved in the mixing and stuff, and I wanted it to sound like really good, and we got it as close to that as I think we could on with the resources that we had.
Money's been a little tight, so
we couldn't pay anyone else to mix it for us, so we had to just
we had to figure it all out, and I think we did a great job this time.
Yeah, good things take time, as they say.
Yeah, definitely.
And mental stability.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
It takes that.
They don't sell that at the store.
So,
Wow.
any particular favourites for you guys on the album?
I like Hot Christmases a lot. I think that one really came together, and it was the one that I thought wouldn't come together as well as it did. So that was the real surprise.
Yeah. That was
that
was one that started. Matt pretty much laid the foundation for that because he was just recording this bass line, and I recorded a guitar thing over it, and it basically just turned into like the industrial Candyland that it is now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with Mandela because that's like
that one has a great production.
That's a track to me that like it's like moving in a way that I felt like our tracks weren't really getting to before entirely. Like I feel like I can listen to it and like remember what I was feeling when I wrote it.
That's brilliant. Hey, why don't we check it out now? I'll actually play Medela right now, and then we'll come back, talk about reviews for the album and maybe what you've been doing in terms of live shows. So let's play Medela right now by The Lynx, and we'll be right back.
Yet I know you
Alright, so that was Magello by The Lynx, of course, from Sucreland. You can find it on thelynx.bandcamp.com. Where else, guys? thelynxusa.webs.com. Is there any links to the album on there?
That's kind of like, I mean, that it's a valid site. I don't think I've actually put Sucreland on it because we haven't really been using that one much yet.
Okay,
but
that's cool.
The Bandcamp is like the first place that we'll put stuff. That Reverb Nation and just like our Facebook page are the most like urgently updated, I think.
Okay, so it's just search The Lynx. It's The Lynx 4, isn't it, on Reverb Nation? And what about organizedrecords.com? Is there any links up
Yeah, that's
there?
good.
Yep.
Yeah, most of our stuff is on that one too. It's
They
got
have some
full
pretty cool
discography.
material on there from other groups as well.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, nice. So if you guys want to check out some other groups on the Organized Records, check out organizedrecords.com. That's with a Z. All right, so also Facebook, you can find you guys at The Lynx USA. Let's talk a little bit about the album. Just so you guys were saying you had a review for the album. How the review's been so far?
It's really just been the Independent Spotlight that did it so far. He's a guy who's kind of like reviewed some of our past work, so
nice.
He was kind of the first to get this one basically. Brilliant. And he seemed to like it a lot, so that was nice.
Apart from that ending of what does it all mean? Was that the same guy?
No, he's not.
That
he's
was a
not.
different review.
Oh, that was a
not
different
the
review.
guy.
Okay, right.
That review was on a.
We don't know that man.
What was that review on?
But when
It
you
was just
find
like a Reverb Nation thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Reverb Nation thing, right? Gotcha. So you guys been playing live shows to support the album?
Yeah. We haven't actually played anything since it's come out, since it's been so recent. Well, no, that's actually not true. We there was an acoustic show we had in Baton Rouge, but that was just me and the guitarist. So that would technically be the only show we've played after the release, but we've played plenty of stuff like under the guise that it was coming out, kind of like to build hype for it and stuff. So
it was like a pre-release type tour that we had, more or less.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of house shows in Texas, and we did a lot of shows around our local towns.
Yeah, and we recently did a TV performance. If anybody wants to see us live, go to our YouTube channel and watch
cool.
watch
channel.
The Lynx Majestic Public Access Adventure. That's what it's called.
What's it called?
The video is called The Lynx Majestic Public Access Adventure.
Okay, there we go.
It's played it on like our local TV station.
It was fun. That was a fun day right there.
gonna have
But
to
yeah,
check
that's
that out
probably
myself.
like the best documentation of our current live thing.
Brilliant.
date.
And talking of your live band, you've got a couple other members as well. So you play as a 4-piece?
Yeah, for the past few months we have.
Nice. Any favorite tracks that you particularly like playing live? Doesn't necessarily have to be off Sucreland.
Mhm.
Any favorite tracks you just love to bout out live?
I always love What Does It All Mean?
Yeah, what does it all
That's one
mean?
of my favorite songs ever.
We have that one
Yeah.
like kind of down because we played it so much.
I love the energy. The energy of that song is so different live, and it always changes depending on the energy of the night too. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
another
great.
reason why I like that song. It's very dynamic.
That's fantastic. So you guys play that on that public access adventure video as well? So what does it all mean?
That is one that we play. We
Yeah, we
played
played
that,
that
and
one.
then
Right.
Waste of Time, which is track 4 from the new album, and then Summer's Out from the
Love
Summer's
Summer's
Out
Out,
EP.
yeah,
Nice.
that's another good one.
Yeah, I love Summer's Out. That's a great track.
Those are the that we play on the TV thing.
Yeah, that one's fun to play live too. I
Yeah.
wish everybody in the band agreed with that one, but I like playing that one live.
Nice. Well, guys, I think what we might do is just remind listeners again where to find you. The Bandcamp site is thelynx.bandcamp.com. You got organizedrecords.com, of course, that's your label. On Facebook, you can find you at The Lynx USA. Reverb Nation, The Lynx 4, the number 4. But I imagine if you just search The Lynx, you'd come up.
Yeah.
They're on Reverb Nation.
We
And
also have a YouTube channel, yeah.
and the YouTube channel as well. That's right.
Mm.
Well, it's been great talking to you guys.
Likewise. And I definitely want to take a trip to Australia as soon as I can. And I love it. I love everything about Australia that I've seen and heard. I've always wanted to go and visit.
Oh, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. And if you do come to Australia, definitely come to Melbourne. I mean, I've probably got listeners tuning in from Sydney and Brisbane and whatnot saying, hey, come down this way as well.
I'll take the tour. I'll take the full tour.
Do the full tour. Yeah, you've got to do the full tour.
I'll do it.
Maybe take the desert roads across the outback.
I like
head over to Perth.
I like nature, so I would definitely. That's like a spiritual thing, man. I'm sure there's a lot of good energy out in the outback.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. A lot of good energy, dangerous snakes, kangaroos.
I'm one with nature. I'm not too afraid of any of those animals. I feel like, I don't know, weird connection to most animals. Even spiders. I'm not afraid of spiders anymore. I used to be, and then I made one when I ran through a large spider web.
Did you?
In, Pacific Northwest in Seattle when I was visiting a friend, and that was the moment where I was able to really focus and not freak out, because it was like 2 a.m. and I couldn't scream or they would call the cops on me. So that's when I learned my zen when it comes to spiders.
Wow.
So yeah, I got off topic there.
No, mate. I mean that was your realization right there, face to face with a giant spider, and not being able to scream and keeping calm and everything. That's a pretty intense story.
I ran through the web, so it was on me at that point. So
I
was trying not to panic. I was doing my best.
So you'll be absolutely fine with dangerous snakes, dangerous spiders in Australia. So you got to come down.
I'm not afraid of animals. I'm more afraid of people, really.
Yeah, the Australian people aren't too bad. They're not too dangerous.
I've heard nothing but good things about y'all. So
yeah, that's great. That's excellent. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure talking, and looking forward to playing a lot of links on Undiscovered Rock Radio. For those who do want to check out the links on Undiscovered Rock Radio, we had you guys on the So What's New show quite recently, and just check out our playlist, because you'll hear the links come up quite often on undiscoveredrockradio.com.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, thanks for that Chaotica eyeball, by the way.
Yes. Enjoying that?
Set up next to me. Yeah, I won it like a few months ago. And
yeah, that's cool.
That's brilliant. I'm glad it arrived.
On the mic.
Yeah, I'm touching it right now.
Yeah, I've got one right here in front of me. I'm using mine at the moment as well. Doing a little bit of a plug for Chaotica here. Chaotica, of course, support the Alt and Indie Rock podcast, and yes, we give away a Chaotica eyeball every month, and we'll probably give them away on the Undiscovered Rock radio station as well, just having a chat to those guys about that. So you can find them at chaoticaeyeball.com, just in case people are wondering what the hell we're talking about. Alright, excellent. Thanks, guys, and keep in touch, and let us know if you've got any other band news announcements and tours and stuff like that. We'll be happy to plug it on Undiscovered Rock Radio.
Hopefully we'll be able to play Down Under one day.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right.
See ya.
So that was Jordan and Matthew from the Links. Let's finish the show off now with Hot Christmases here on Undiscovered Rock Radio. Thanks for joining me for this Drop D Talks To special. We'll catch you all next week.